Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope you are good. I am on shelf number 4. You can see it's empty. I've pulled that one off. I'm cleaning it. For those that don't know or have just found this video, come across it in on the YouTube, whatever it is, algorithm or lack thereof. I am doing an exercise where I'm going through all of my collection. Most of the stuff has appeared on my channel one way or another at some point, not everything. But I'm going through cleaning my shelves one at a time, and every time I pull a shelf off, I'm showing you the stuff on there again. So I think what I'll do to start off with, I think I'm going to start with the toys because they're fiddly, and then we'll get onto the games because there's some really good ones in there as well, which I'm really excited to share with you. So one of the first little things I've got is this little Lego Yoshi or Yoshi. I get screamed at because I call him Yoshi, but I always have. He's Yoshi to me, and I'm obsessed with him. He's so cute. That's a little Lego one my friend Fiona got me for my birthday last year, I think. And we'll carry on with the Yoshi theme. I picked up these 4 little guys, so in different colours. I can't even remember where I got them from. They're cute though, aren't they? He really is a cute character. I've said it before, Nintendo would definitely, I don't know, I'm trying to stand them up instead of just moving on to the next thing. I don't know, I think I said it recently, was it my last video where I was talking about the fact that, yes, I'm a big Sonic fan. I love Sonic and I love Sega. But when you look at the actual characters and the number and the sheer number of characters that came out from Nintendo, I think they win hands down, don't they? They've got far more variety. There are a lot in the Sonic world, but I think it gets to the point where they start being a little bit similar. And that's coming from me, who's a huge Sonic fan. I think there's far more variety with Nintendo. But yes, anyway, I'll carry on before I start getting people screaming at me because I'm a Sega girl and a Sonic girl. I just do love all the little characters. I think it's from playing a lot of time, like spending a lot of time on Mario Kart and those sorts of games where you get to see all the different ones. That's another Yoshi. He's a bit bigger. I don't know what he's from though. He's got a hole in his back. I think he might have been from like a car boot or something, possibly from a shop somewhere. No idea what he belongs to though. If anybody's got him or knows what he marries up to, that would be awesome. Let me know, because it's nice to have these things complete, but equally I quite like having him anyway. He's cute. There's Lakatui, however you say his name. He is in a lot of the Mario games, isn't he? Oh, my camera's like, I've got a new phone. It was doing the blur then, wasn't it? Oh, I didn't know it did that. Sorry. I'll carry on, shall I? Probably most famous for Mario Kart, dropping the lights to start the race, right? I know he's in the other games as well, but yeah, that's him. And I've got a few little Mario. I'm taking the piss out of one of my friends in particular here, and they know who they are because they're always pulling me up on how I say stuff, not on how everybody else is saying it. You can say it however the hell you want. I won't correct you. I will correct you, just to cause an argument. So there's a few little Mario toys there and Luigi as well. So they're quite cute. This one, again, he's from something. He's got a little hole in his foot. I tend to just stand him, to be honest. He works, and I know he doesn't really go with it, but I like having it upright. So I wedge it on here. Well, I'll have to do it on the shelf because he's going to fall over here. Just so that it's not quite like that. But so he's upright rather than just lying down on the shelf, which is quite nice. And then there's this little Shy Guy as well. So they're all the figures. No, they're not all the figures because I've got another 2 that I hadn't actually got around to putting on this shelf, but I got them recently. You'll remember my friend picked me up Birdo. Found that one in TK Maxx, I think it was. And he knows how much I love Birdo. So he got that for me, and then when I was in there a few weeks later, I saw this purple Yoshi. So those 2 go together. I don't know. I'm keeping them in the box for now. I'm debating whether getting them out or not, because with them being really modern toys, and there's probably a lot of them about, I don't think it's going to hold its value. I just think they're something that, it's always a debate, isn't it? Because the boxes take up loads of space. You can see my Funko Pops, they take up so much space. But again, you don't like to take them out, and it's like, do you, don't you? I don't know. Next thing, this thing, you know, a few of you, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, will remember this guy. This thing is a light, but I've had to take the batteries out of it because you press it and it did the power up noise when you pick up a mushroom. It was going off on its own, like in the middle of the night, you just hear it going off. This thing's haunted, I'm telling you. So I had to take the batteries out of it because it was driving me batty. Like, I'd just hear it. I'd be in the house and it'd be going off. And it used to live in the glass cabinet that's behind me here that we'll be going through in a few weeks' time. But yeah, so he's quite cute though. So it's a shame that he just kept setting himself off, but still looks cute. So I'm keeping him, even though I think he's haunted. Next thing off here is not a Nintendo one. We'll start with this one. Again, a fairly recent pickup for me, which was Code Veronica Resident Evil. It won't fit on my Sega shelf without being hidden. And I quite like the artwork on, I've got my Dreamcast one sort of at an angle so you can see the front of them rather than the spine. Because I think the artwork on the Dreamcast games is amazing. So I don't really want to cover that up, so I'm going to have to figure out how I can incorporate that up on one of the top 2 Sega shelves, really. But it's doing no harm down there. I know why it's down there because I can't find anywhere else for it. I'm going to go on now to some older games. Now, some of these are my childhood ones. I think I'll probably start with one of my more recent pickups, maybe a year ago, possibly 2 years ago. This is Theme Park on the SNES. And it is in a plastic container. It's in really good condition. It's been out of the box. So the guy who bought it off showed me the condition it's in inside the box. Now, for those of you who watch my channel, I've not played any for a while. I'll probably do that this week, actually. I might do a 2 Point Hospital or a 2 Point Museum stream. I love these types of games. And Theme Park was one that I spent a lot of time on the SNES. And this one in particular, I find quite special because you see there's a theme park on there, Alton Towers. For those of you who aren't from the UK, Alton Towers is probably the biggest. Is Thorpe Park the biggest or is Alton Towers? It's one of the two. They're coupled with each other anyway. I think they're owned by the same company. But that is like, I want to say it's about 30 miles away from where I live. And we went there a couple of times a year when we were growing up. So that one's a really special one. So I'm glad to have that in such good condition. It's got the manual in there as well and everything. So yeah, I'm going to look after that one. It makes it a bit different as well because I don't think there'd be many with the offer on for, I'm sure it was free Alton Towers tickets. It was kids tickets to it if you bought the game. So yeah, that's so cool. I like the little story behind that one. And now we're going to go on. There's a bit of a mix here of SNES and N64. Should I just start with, I'll just rattle through the N64 ones. This one doesn't need any introduction whatsoever. Diddy Kong Racing. This game was, I know there's some of you who will argue with me. I prefer Mario Kart. There's a lot of you who prefer Diddy Kong Racing. I did like the variety because you had the planes in this one as well, didn't you? So it was a little bit different to Mario Kart. But yeah, that was a cute one. I found that one a bit more difficult than Mario Kart as well. I think that one was a little bit more difficult. And I bought that was Blockbusters. That was 50 quid. When would that have been? In the 90s? I must have had some of these, like that must have been like Christmas money. Well, it will have been Christmas or birthday money. We didn't have that kind of cash lying around. So it was a case of I used to save up for all of my games, which is a shame that I didn't look after them better. Now I'm trying to find them all and piece them together. And I've managed to match some back up with boxes and stuff over the years. For a while I had the boxes and I didn't necessarily have the cartridges and vice versa. I've still got the same scenario with some of them. This one I absolutely loved. Now, this is one that had water damage on the box, but thankfully this is one where the game was separate. And I've paired them back up again, but I daren't really open this box. That's F-Zero X, and I adored that game. I spent hours and hours on it. It was just brutal, wasn't it? Super fast-paced. And it had there was a mode in it where you were just on like a loop, like on a circle, and you had to just knock all the other players off. I really liked doing that, and it was a bit of a time trial one to see if you can do it the fastest. But yeah, so as you can see, it's got like, is it that side? There's a hole in it, the water damage. But yeah, if I open it, it sort of crumbles a little bit. So I kind of just leave that one be, leave it in one place. But the game is in there. I think there's a manual in there as well, actually. I've done Donkey Kong, haven't I? Diddy Kong even. Now, this one is a game another one that people absolutely love. And I did enjoy this game, but I didn't actually spend that much time on it. I think it was at the point where I think I was about 18, 19 and started going out with my mates more than gaming. I still gamed, but not as much. And then, yeah, I'd rather be out at the pub having a drink with my friends you know what you're like when you're a teenager, rather than being huddled round your CRT TV at that time. But that is Perfect Dark. This one is pristine because it wasn't used that much. So that one is in really good condition, cartridge, manual, everything in there, and it's original. It's an original one, so yeah, one of mine, which is good, but I didn't spend that much time on it, and I don't know how it survived the test of time either. Like some of them, you've seen the boxes, they're absolutely battered, but this one must have just been lucky and been in the right place in storage so that it's not damaged. But that one's a cracking game. I prefer GoldenEye, if I'm honest, but I spent so much more time on GoldenEye, so yeah, cracking game. And now we're moving on to two games. This is one of my top 5 games, I would say, of all time, and that's Zelda Ocarina of Time. That game is absolutely epic. I am tempted, now I've got my capture card set up, I just need to fiddle with the settings a little bit more for my Switch. I might even stream this. This game was insanely good. And I remember when you first got out of the village where Link was brought up and you got into Hyrule Field, and it was just vast, wasn't it? It was the biggest game that you'd ever seen. And my mind was blown. I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to be able to explore all this. There's so much stuff. And when you compare it to the likes of, you know, the GTAs, Cyberpunk, all these other games that we play now that have got the biggest maps ever, this is nothing in comparison to that. It was so small, really. But from that sort of era, that one was absolutely massive. And it was a massive game anyway. I've got so many fond memories of that. That has got the manual in it and the cartridge. And yeah, I've got very, very fond memories of that one. That's one that when I was at college, spent a lot of time in the evenings. I remember my mum telling me off because I'd do my college work and then I'd spend time gaming on that till like 2 a.m. in the morning, that sort of thing. So yeah, I was up and about at night time when I shouldn't be, which is probably why I still do it now. I've got a bit of a bad habit of doing that, haven't I? I don't sleep very well. So I game instead. And the next one is, and I'm going to admit it now, I do like this game. They were a little bit lazy, and they've done it very recently with the 2 recent Zelda games in terms of the characters in this game. Most of them you would find in Ocarina of Time. They just repurposed them and placed them in different places. I will admit it now, this is one that I never actually finished. I got close, and I think it was just again around that time when I sort of went off gaming for a little bit, like in the not the late 90s, early 2000s. I wasn't playing as often. And that one sinks time. You had 3 days to complete everything, and then the moon landed on the earth, didn't it? And then you had to restart again or respawn again. Again, it was I played it a lot, but I think the mechanic in it of that moon and it resetting every 3 days used to drive me mad. But yeah, I know a lot of you are very fond of that, but I did find it very lazy, them using the same characters. And you found it with Breath of the Wild versus Tears of the Kingdom, haven't you? If you play that game and you see it's almost like an extension of the original game rather than a separate game. And yeah, again, and the same thing for me playing that on the Switch, the original, the Breath of the Wild, which I just, again, coming out of the crypt at the start of it, and then you look at that world and it was that mind-blowing moment again, 20 years later in the same game, but a more modern version of it. And it was just the insanity of it. And now I've tried playing Tears of the Kingdom, and it's like you've got to build stuff, and I can't get my head around the mechanics of it. I really can't. I've tried it. It struggles. I might give it another go because it does look like one that I would enjoy if I put any length of time into it. But yeah, the mechanics I struggled with. And this is just a random leaflet, actually. I don't know if this came with the N64. It looks probably more like it was in with the games, because it's small. It's got the Game Boy there as well on the back. But then it's got all the different, it's just one of those advertising ones, but that's in really good condition. So another one that's avoided any water damage in the garage or in my brother's. I didn't really get that many back from my brother's house. Got a few things back from my brother's house, you know, in the attic and stuff, or wherever else I found my games. Now the last game is actually a SNES game, and I don't have many boxed SNES games, not a whole lot of them anyway. I think just because of the length of time that we had them. I mean, what was that? 92, 93, 94, that's mid-90s, trying to get boxes. And that's where the Mega Drive and Sega did better with the plastic cases. I think that's something with SNES. You're very lucky if you've got the boxes for those. again, you could apply the same logic to the N64 ones. It's just with them being a little bit newer, I think they've standed the test of time a little bit more. But with SNES, the boxes were very rare. I think a lot of people just used to buy like plastic containers for them. But this is Maximum Carnage. And that is a game that my brother and I spent pure time on. We loved this one, absolutely loved it. Like I've got a Venom somewhere, a Funko Pop Venom, in Carnage mode, if that's what you call it. I should know the technical terms. I'm just so blonde, I don't remember anything. But yes, we spent a lot of time on that. That one was good fun. I think, did we finish that? I'm gonna have to ask my brother if he finished it or not. I think we did in the end, but it was a proper, like you were playing a comic book, you know? Really, really good game. And yeah, I've got the box. I don't know if the manual is still in there. We'll have a little look. I don't think we've got a manual, but we've got the cartridge in there as well. But yeah, so those are all the things on my Nintendo shelf. And I do have a random empty box for Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I must have the cartridge somewhere. It's not in the bottom there where I've got other cartridges in the bottom of this glass cabinet. We'll get onto the loose cartridges. I have got loose cartridges. They're just in this glass cabinet behind me. So going through shelf by shelf methodically, when I get to the glass cabinet, we'll have a little look at those ones. So guys, that is me. What else have I got to shout out and plug? We've been doing a lot of recording. There's a really one of my funny videos actually that I've done with Frank, which is Goat Simulator 3. That is live on my channel now. I've had to split that up into several sections because when I was trying to chop and edit that, it was just too funny. We just spent the whole time laughing, so it's ended up becoming a series rather than just one video. And I have recorded over the weekend. Well, it was Friday actually. My friend's little girl was here. I was looking after her while her mum was working. So she's helped me make a YouTube video. We've played some Roblox, and then she was showing me how to play a few games. Well, we ended up recording one of the games on Roblox that she knew how to play. So I'll edit that this week. That's quite funny. She's really sweet. She's like, I think Esther's 7 or 8 years old now. I always forget I'm terrible with age. I still think I'm 21. So yeah, when I'm talking about my friends' children, I'm like, yeah, I think they're 5 and they're probably 15. But anyway, so that's coming up. And yeah, I will schedule some streams for this week. Like I've already said, I'll probably do some 2-point something. I will be playing some more Resident Evil 5 with Cynic. We're having a lot of fun with that. If you missed it on Friday, the live stream is up and available for you to watch. Yeah, it was good fun, that one. And we're enjoying that, actually. That's bringing back a lot of good memories as well. So, yes, guys, thank you for watching. And I look forward to sharing the next shelf with you, which has got a lot more. You can see some of it over my shoulder there. I've got Mario Maker on there, and there's a few other exciting bits on there. More modern Nintendo stuff for you to go and have a look at next time. But thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye!